President Obama has said one of the keys to success against the Taliban lies across that border in Pakistan.
Pakistan is an indispensable ally in the war against terror, yet Pakistanis view the U.S. as a greater threat than al-Qaeda.
President Obama needs Pakistan to be part of the solution to terrorism. Right now, its complexity means it may just be part of the problem.
Whatever happens in Afghanistan has a direct impact on Pakistan and vice versa. So they're very intricately linked, particularly when we're talking about this current war that's taking place.
If Afghanistan is unstable, then Pakistan is going to be unstable. And the United States has a very important interest in a stable Pakistan, a country that's endowed with several dozen nuclear weapons at a minimum.
There's a very real possibility that if Pakistan goes down the tubes with Afghanistan, that you could find nuclear weapons in the hands of al-Qaeda or perhaps some other militant group that would wish ill toward the United States and the rest of the world.
Right now I'm standing in Afghanistan. This building is in Afghanistan, but if I take a few steps here, this is recognized as the current border, and those buildings over there are in Pakistan. Most of the 2,000-kilometer frontier is just like this, not marked in any way.
The area, the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan is something that politicians drew on a map. As far as the Pashtun communities are concerned, this is a foreign confection.
Let's explain this very clearly. On both sides of the Afghan-Pakistan border, you have largely the people who are known as Pashtuns or Pathans. And the Pashtun people belong to different tribes, have done so for centuries. This border that was created in the 19th century by the British was done essentially to define the borders of the British Empire. And many of the Pashtun people were extremely unhappy that this border had divided their tribes. They have links across the border.
The really interesting thing about the Taliban is that for several years now, and one reason why they've been successful over the last few years by their own goals, is that they have seen much more clearly and much earlier than the United States has done that Pakistan and Afghanistan are a single theater for them. They don't recognize the distinction between the territory that is governed by Pakistan and Afghanistan. They regard both governments as illegitimate. They cross the border freely, and they take great tactical advantage of the fact that they can operate simultaneously in both countries.
As we began to occupy the Pashtun homeland, this specific deployment has generated a large amount of nationalist resistance to our military presence in Afghanistan.
The Taliban have reinvented themselves as the Pashtun nationalist cause.
They're saying that they want to kick out the foreigners, they want to quote, liberate the country from foreign invaders.
This is hardly a global jihad that's kind of sitting and resting in Afghanistan. What we are witnessing is a regional and local nationalist opposition to American and Western military control.
The surge has actually been underway for 2.5 years. That the numbers of troops there have doubled in that period of time. Our reliance on air power has more than doubled during that period of time. What has been so far correlated with it are setbacks. The expansion of Taliban influence, the increase of Taliban attacks, and an increase in casualties.
It's not as if Pakistan is standing idle. 120,000 troops have been dispatched to the Afghan border. The government says more than 1,000 soldiers killed in the fighting. But the United States and others still question whether the Pakistan military and intelligence service are playing a double game. Elements secretly supporting the Taliban to block a potential India-Afghanistan alliance.
Pakistan has a set of concerns that involve not just Afghanistan, and actually not principally Afghanistan, but India as well.